my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing 5, 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna
I've been in here and people are roaring with laughter, so...
It's a dirty show, though.
Well, it's clean dirt.
Forgive me, but the best restaurants of the world are here in Vegas. I mean, you have here the best of the best.
Yes.
So we have many celebrities here. The Harley Madison come over here, and the Usher come over here many often, and the Paris Hilton come here, and Britney Spears came over here like 2 weeks ago.
Boy, I'm dating myself, but it's okay. Nobody else will. Oh.
That's so Vegas. Welcome to That's So Vegas. I'm your host, Christine McKellar, here at the fantastic WCOBM studio right off of Las Vegas Boulevard South. It's a windy, blustery day today, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
Yes, look at my hair.
But we like your hair like that. I'd like to introduce two of my very special guests today. Right off the bat, we'll start with you, Greg Conan. He is the producer of Evil Dead the Musical, Las Vegas, at Tommy Wynn Theater.
It is.
Yes.
Tommy Wynn. In fact, Tommy actually owns the show.
I didn't know that. And he was
yeah.
on this show a couple months ago.
Yeah. Tommy bought the show. He put it up. He believes in it, and he believes in us, and we like him a lot.
Yes.
Tommy's a great guy, and he's taking care of us.
Yeah, well, he is wonderful. He was so much fun on the show, too. We had a really good time. He talked about things he hadn't even discussed before, but we'll talk about it. He's a hemophiliac, so he bleeds, and it's not contagious. We had to go through that on the show. Now, in the middle.
Always in the
yes,
middle.
Always, are you always in the middle? We have Rob
Harpist.
Yes.
And it's Harpest.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah,
Like
not
sharpest without the
IST.
S.
Yeah.
Or a harpist misspelled.
Right. But you do play the piano.
But
We
I do
established
play,
that.
It's true.
And he's very good at it.
Yeah.
Very good. He's
Now-
an excellent pianist.
You are all excited because you have an anniversary coming up. Isn't that correct?
This is our 4th anniversary on the Las Vegas Strip. We are the show. I remember when the show opened. The same weekend we opened, there was a Beach Boys musical at the MGM
I
Grand.
remember that.
There was a panda show.
The Panda Bears. Yes.
Where was
The
that?
big pandas.
It was at the Venetian.
Venetian,
wasn't it?
yes.
Or Wynn? Something. It was
Yeah,
down there.
I had a photo op with one of the pandas.
All right.
Yeah. Those shows are gone. We are still here.
Congratulations.
Everyone thought we would be the first one to go. We are still here.
Yeah,
they
flex.
have come. They have gone. The Pandas, the Beach Boys, the Duck Dynasties, the Twisted People. They've all come and gone, and we are still here.
What do you attribute that to? And I have to interject. I love horror movies, always have. I'm more the old Dracula vampire type. But when I first saw Evil Dead, the movie with Bruce Campbell, I thought it was hysterical. I mean, it was scary. And they have developed all different varieties or different offshoots of that.
Yeah.
A lot of blood and gore, which isn't normally my particular taste. I like the boo kind, but
Yeah.
It's campy blood and gore,
it
though.
is
It's
campy
funny.
blood and gore. What do you attribute to the reason this is the longevity of this?
What you were just talking about. It's campy. It's blood. It's gore. It's fun. It's got a rabid fan base.
Yes.
That's what's keeping it alive is the fan base.
And a splatter zone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be my answer. Is the Evil Dead fan base is they're insane. Like they're so diehard and so dedicated, and you know, Ash is an iconic character that he's the everyman, and I think there's something that people associate with
Right.
in that. But
And that's who
Yeah.
you portray in the show.
yes, yeah, yep.
And you rotate different ashes.
We do. Rob is our go-to. Our main Ash is Chris Weidman.
Right.
He's I call him Giant Ash because he's 6'8".
Whoa.
Bruce Campbell. When Bruce Campbell met Bruce Campbell came to the show.
I was going to ask you that, but please tell us.
Well, when Bruce Campbell came to the show, he walked in and he goes, "Who plays Ash?" And Rob hadn't joined the show yet. And he walked in and he goes, "Who plays Ash?" And we all pointed at Chris, and he looked at he did this. You're a tall one, ain't ya?
That must have been something meeting Bruce Campbell.
Oh, it was. Bruce came to the show. Actually, he sent his right hand man Mike Estes to come to see the show because he didn't want to show up and find out we were a bunch of jerks.
Oh.
Which we can be at times. But,
On occasion.
yeah,
Well-
but he sent Mike to the show. He said, "Mike, go watch these guys and tell me if they're okay." And Mike came to see the show. He came backstage after the show. He said, "I'm Bruce's right-hand man. He sent me to make sure that you guys are okay." And he said, "You guys are not okay. You are awesome. You are incredible.
Nice.
Bruce will be here tomorrow night."
Whoa.
And the next night, Bruce came. He did a 7-minute warm-up for the show. He came out and
Unrehearsed and everything.
oh yeah, nobody knew he was going to be there. He came backstage, gave us all a
Wow.
pep talk, referred to us all as thespians.
Thespians.
He says, "All of you thespians."
Love it.
He came. He talked to each of us individually. He shook our hands, and then he stepped out on stage. And the crowd, nobody knew he was going to be there. He stepped out on stage, and the crowd went absolutely wild.
I think I would have too had I been there because he's just
He just stepped out and said, "How many of you are here to see Evil Dead?" And then he gave a 7-minute talk to the audience, and when it was done, he grabbed one of our super soakers full of blood and totally doused the splatter zone. That was, I mean, those people would have gone home. They would have gone home happy at that point,
Right.
without even having seen the show,
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean,
because
that's just such a.
Bruce came out and soaked them all.
He is a funny character. I mean, we were talking earlier, waiting for you to arrive here, but there's just something. Well, number one, he's very handsome, and you fit those shoes very well
thank you.
there.
Yeah.
But there's the way he carries himself, and he has what was the other one we were talking about where he goes back in time?
Oh, Army of Darkness.
Oh,
Yeah, which-
Army of
yeah.
Darkness.
Yep.
I mean, I'm an adult, and I actually
Evil
watched
Dead
that.
3.
And I got
Yeah.
Evil Dead 3.
Yeah. Army
But
of
there's
Darkness.
something about it's almost like he's looking at the camera. He knows this could be borderline ludicrous or ridiculous, but he doesn't let it get that way.
Yep.
And I have seen the show. Should I tell my story?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
please. Oh, I love
No,
these.
well, go ahead.
I didn't
Go
have a
ahead.
good experience,
No,
but
go ahead.
I just want to get this off my chest. And you helped me with that anyway because we were messaging. I took a girlfriend to review the show. I took her as a guest. And it wasn't that the show was bad. The acting was great. I just loved the campiness and the girl and it was the audience that was, I have to say it, despicable. Because it was like we were surrounded by all these drunk guys who'd come to Vegas to do whatever evil they could. And you know, there is some sexual innuendo in the show. But they were the type who were sitting there. All they wanted was for that girl to get brutalized in the most horrific sexual manner possible. And they were so vocal about it that we couldn't even get into, it was just
Yeah.
what we were surrounded with.
Yep.
So we couldn't hear what's going on. I'm sure you've had audiences like that before.
Oh, we had one the other night.
But the topper, and this just defines that particular audience, and I'm sure, viewers, this was an anomaly. This doesn't happen all the time, but we waited for a pause to leave. We didn't get up and walk out during the meal, and we waited for that little break, and as we walked out, one of the same guys put his foot out and tripped my girlfriend.
What?
She fell flat on her face. She could have been hurt.
Yes.
But you see what that
Yeah.
was
Oh,
why...
yeah.
but
Was this
you-
back at the V?
yes, it was,
Yes.
but it was a while ago. And but again, I really wanted to see the show. It was just that the element around us, there
Yeah.
was no way we could sit through that, and they were so loud that they were interrupting. Well, you guys are professionals. I can't say that the cast got disturbed by it, but we couldn't get into it, and then the tripping. So,
Well, actually, sometimes when that does happen, it does throw us off.
oh, tell us a little bit about that, because I always wonder how you keep your aplomb and your.
Well, for the most part, as you said, we are professionals. I've been doing this since I was a teenager, and sometimes you get people who are just so vociferous that they throw you off. We had one guy the other night who kept standing up and yelling stuff at us.
Right.
And we thrive on the audience interaction, but also I'm looking over to this guy and he's throwing me completely off.
Right.
And I'm looking at you were playing Ed that night,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking over at you, and I'm looking at Chris, and we're all just kind of standing there like, how do we deal with this clown? You know, it happens.
Suggestion?
You know, actually, but there are times that we do break the fourth wall. There was one night where Vicky, who plays Cheryl, jumps out of the cellar, and this one girl just would not stop. She just kept screaming constantly, and she came out of the cellar, like opens the door, comes out, and she goes, "Shut the F up!" and like points right at her. And actually, I think I was Ash that night, and so I'm standing there, I'm watching her. I was like, oh, "Okay, good,
Do what she says.
good on you."
Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, I come out and I squirt the splatter zone. So like anybody who's like really being a pain in the butt, I let them have it.
Oh, good.
I come out with my sprayer and I go,
Uh-huh.
you, you're it.
So you used a terminology that she broke the wall or broke the...
Oh, yeah,
broke
I mean,
the
just like,
fourth wall.
well, it happens a lot in the show. We really do interact, especially Ash interacts with the audience a lot and
Right.
addresses the audience a lot. So for us to do that, it doesn't really break the show. But I mean,
That's the term that you use,
yeah.
though,
To break the
for
fourth
that.
wall, yeah.
Break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love
And there's a lot of times where all of us will look at the audience and go and go back into it. You know.
Right, but then you've engaged them. I'm sure there are people like me there who are trying to watch the show, but you can't get around the route. Well, we've seen that at just about every show. It's
Yeah.
not just your show. Some of
Yeah.
the strip shows, and
Yeah.
you know, they're just some people just can't contain themselves, or they've had way too much to drink.
Well, yeah, we get a lot of that too.
it's actually a lot nicer at Tommy Wind because back
Uh-huh.
at the V, you know, prior to last December, the show was at 10 and 11:30 on Friday and Saturday nights.
Right.
So people
Are really hammered.
the
Oh, yeah.
amateurs that come to Vegas and don't know how to handle themselves and have been drinking since noon.
Yes.
You know, either pass out or they just get
Crazy.
belligerent.
Yeah.
So
and stupid. Now our show at the Tommy Wind is at 7:30,
Oh, great.
so people don't have as much of a chance to get
And they may have had a bite to eat.
out of control.
And
yeah.
there is food served there, isn't there?
Well, no,
In the
not
concession. Not at the
no,
show, but
not at the show. No, we don't serve food there. There's not a kitchen.
But you could crawl in your belly to Fatburger.
Yeah,
which is right
which
there.
is right next door.
if you're going to crawl, you may as well
May as
crawl
well.
onto
your
a
belly to
Fatburger. We're going to be right back. I've got to do a quick shout out to my sponsor who keeps me alive and kicking here at WCOBM. I almost said something else. I have no idea what I was going to say. But
I know how that goes.
it's it's the fourth wall. No.
We killed those brain cells last night.
Yeah.
Red Roof Inn
Oh,
on
yeah.
Paradise. Crossing the Hard Rock. We'll be right back.